UK's Metro Bank experienced widespread outages on Thursday, rendering online services and mobile apps inaccessible. Thousands of customers left without access to their accounts. Concerns escalated over the impact and the duration of the disruption.
Another one.
October 5th, 2023. Metro Bank shares plunged by 30% on Thursday after it emerged on Wednesday night that the lender was preparing to ask investors for hundreds of millions of pounds to shore up its balance sheet. Metro Bank, which became the first new high street bank in the United Kingdom for more than a century when it was launched by the American billionaire Vernon Hill back in 2010, states it is not facing any immediate threat and is operating as normal. Metro Bank, about 2.7 million customers and 76 branches, and holds about 15.5 billion worth of United Kingdom customer deposits. Metro needs more money to ensure that it can continue and expand. Without the extra funding, its ability to lend could be put at risk. The issue is that the bank is operating at the edge of its capital requirements, which refers to the amount of assets held by the bank that can be sold off at short notice if it faces unexpected losses. Metro was hoping to reduce the requirement by getting permissions from the Bank of England to use its own internal models to assess its mortgage risks. However, that request was denied in early September, triggering a steady sell-off over the last few weeks. The bank is still operating within the regulatory capital limits, but it's doing so within a buffer, meaning it will need to raise money, more cash from investors to grow the business in any meaningful way. There is more urgency, though, given that 350 million worth of its debt needs to be refinanced, requiring investors to put forward a new tranche of cash as early as next year and no later than October of 2025. So let's look at a few of the things that's listed. One above that you can't see, which is the article that I read from, which is UK Metro Bank down, leaving customers without access to their accounts. The next one, UK's Metro Bank eyes axing 1 in 5 jobs, 7 days of banking. Next one, UK's Metro Bank to lay off 20% of workforce. Next one, British Bank announces sweeping job cuts weeks before Christmas. Another one, troubled High Streets Bank to axe hundreds of jobs in 50 million cost-cutting plan. Another one, Metro Bank is cutting 800 jobs and may axe 7-day branch opening. Another one, UK's Metro Bank eyeing axing 20% headcount, right? So pretty much rinse, wash, and repeat. The main reason that this is a problem is that this is not just the only bank. Over the course of the years, I've brought up a variety of stories dealing with the banks and how it is that they are cutting cost, how it is that they are in some type of trouble, some type of debt. So they're going to start with their own first. They're going to work internally in order to see if it may be enough to relieve certain types of pressure so that they can save certain types of money over time, cutting costs, trimming the fat. And inevitably, the fat that they're going to trim will start with the workforce. And then later on, they'll decide, within that, we'll, try to do some other stuff internally. We'll try to look for more people to maybe buy in to try to, help us out, to keep us afloat. And that's what they did. So in the two articles that are listed, they stated that Metro Bank to slash cost after 925 million rescue deal. The one after that, Metro Bank rescue deal can go ahead after shareholders back it. And then you have this one. Vladimir Putin states that the next BRICS summit in 2024 will be dedicated to establishing a fair world order. Russia's gold reserves hit a new record in November. China also continues to stockpile. Energy trade between Russia and China is skyrocketing. So you clearly see that you have two countries deciding that, hey, it's best that we actually work with ourselves, right? Trade in between each other, technology. We also invest with each other in order to get, money moving and to show good faith and promise and to keep up what it is that we're supposed to be doing. And they're doing this to show the rest of the world that, hey, we don't specifically need the United States or others directly out there in order to make things run. Sure, We may have needed them or used them in the beginning, but we are afloat by ourselves at this moment in time. So there's no longer any type of need. So we're going to kick them out and we're going to formulate our own partnership and our own group that is away from them. Right? So now it is an us versus them situation. China and Russia are clearly showing you whose side that they are specifically on. Everybody that's with America is there out of some other contractual obligation, some other type of agreement, some type of money, some type of debt. People aren't really there because they want to be there. Some people are also there due to the effects of fear and other higher ups, that in a sense make these things possible. While you have China and Russia, they're doing this out of good faith. They're not threatening anybody. They're not trying to force or put anybody directly into debt, making them obligated in order to do this. You have other nations directly out there looking at what it is that China and Russia are doing, and then they're comparing that with what it is that America and the rest of the world are doing. And they're like, you know what? I think what China and Russia is doing is more beneficial. It's more advantageous if I decide to go this route versus trying to make any types of deals with America. So this is yet again how it is that America has made itself an enemy of everybody else by everything that it has done and established over the years historically. And this is also showcasing the fact that a lot of nations out here are going more towards the gold standard, which is an actual standard, versus something like oil, petrol. Like I said before, people have to pay attention to the symptoms and the signs of a cancer. There is always symptoms and signs before you get sick, before you, get to a stage 4 or whatever the further negative extent may be for a disease. There's always signs there. And the problem is nobody pays attention to it. Everybody wants to try to get a quick made fix. Everybody wants to try to get a cure when it's at stage 4. But nobody was talking, trying to find a cure or trying to change a diet or trying to do any of these things when it was at a stage 1 or when it was before a stage 1. You're clearly looking at it. Now, will people decide to pay attention to the signs and the symptoms and decide to put their money into things that are more advantageous, such as gold and silver and copper and many other precious metals? Will people decide to do that? Or will people decide to do the exact same thing that they've always been doing since they've been doing it?